in the wake of this, we had all the international conferences were started in the 80s and in the 90s. So the whole movement, the way I see it, was on this unification. Let's get to know each other, and unification vibe, you know, to bring things forward. So international conferences were held in Toronto, Florida, till they start to be held in Africa. And a lot of Rastafari works, magazines, books start to come out in the 80s. Before that, the most works, literature on Rastafari is written by non-Rastafari. People who are peeping into Rastafari window and writing about things the way they see it. But from that time, we see more Rastafari brethren and sisters contributing works towards books and videos and such. Yes, Jahog magazine, we had the red pages where Mama Desta and them initiated, you know, which was a massive thing long before the digitalization of things, you know, to bring skillful Rasta people from all over the world together. And if you go one country, you need a plumber, you can call a man, and you know, so a Rasta man can fix the thing for you. I was in England. I met a brethren. I was in Jamaica. I met a brethren. He was a man always carrying his camera, so I ended up in front of his camera, like that. So yeah, it was good. Those up to today, they remain being one of the best books. I would say most worked through books. You know, classical books when it comes to Rastafari. People from all generations accept them books because they are so professionally made. You know, and show the beauty of the rainbow color of our nation. Like that, you know, so Brother Millard, we out there, I know that, you know, in Edinburgh, so we hail in the same way, you know, yeah, whether you see today or tomorrow, hail and respect Brother Millard, far right, said I, Rastafari, yeah, so it go, you know, 'cause one family still, you know, through the works, we all getting to know each other, you know, on the road, because it's just one road, you know, and yeah, we see in the whole 80s now, we see more conferences, international conferences focusing upon the growth of INI nation. We recognize INI as a nation by this time, and we know INI self as a family, and we finding out not the problems, but we finding out the solutions to these problems international now, and we setting a pattern for the future of how to deal with things. And then we coming up, I would say we reached 1992. 1992 is a very crucial point. It's not necessarily a turning point, but it's a crucial point in the history of Rastafari as a family and a trod in creation in this time, because it's like the 100-year jubilee celebration of the birth of the one prophesied, the youth, the child, that after years and years turn on to be the emperor, the king of glory, Haile Selassie I first. So 1992, Ethiopia gate bus open. It was the 100-year jubilee, and just before that we had a wind, a strong prophetical wind touch creation. So we had the Russian system, the Soviet Union so-called, the Russian system break down in its parts and just mash down. We had the Berlin Wall from the eye area there, just break down in no time. People start to carry stones away from it. And we had Mengistu, Haile Mariam Mengistu, to run away from Ethiopia, and Mugabe receive him down Zimbabwe side. So when all this happened now, at the same time, because Rasta, remember, we know we always have Ethiopia to be this place of our dreams, and the place in the sun, and that anciency we can go back to and forward to, that anciency. And 1992, the international community saw the need that let us celebrate the birth of Our Majesty in his birthplace and his birth country. So that came an international roll call, and plane loads of Rastafari, sons and daughters and children, man, woman, patriarchs and matriarchs, trod to Ethiopia for a little time in July, August of 1992. And that was unseen, unheard. Remember, Ethiopia being under 17 years of bloody terror, of red communism, and Majesty name cannot be mentioned. A flag with the emperor, the flag with the lion cannot be seen and waved. Majesty name cannot be heard. And here comes hundreds, literally hundreds of Rastafari, sons and daughters, with their flags, their joyful cries through the streets, and with buses and things in Addis Ababa, Shashimane. So it created a big stir in Ethiopia. Suddenly from nowhere, dreadlocks suddenly became the fashion, the greatest fashion. Everybody want to be a dreadlock in Ethiopia. Yeah, man, woman and children, everybody want to be dreadlocks. Greetings everybody. And after 92 gathering now, it was reasoned and decided that yes, Rastafari need a permanent place in Shashimane, a permanent place for gathering and healing His Majesty and the Empress. So it was a group from England named the Centenary Community took on the task to build a tabernacle in Shashimane, a Nyabingi tabernacle according to the ancient order of Nyabingi in Shashimane. And that is an ongoing process up to today. We have not finished it, and that can be a long story to tell all details why we not reached there. But 1996 we had a opening of this place. I ended up around 1994 myself, being a part of a group trying to strengthen the building of this process. So the Centenary Committee got a letter from Nyabingi House in Jamaica saying that check Ras Ibi up in Scandinavia, he maybe can do something. So I get in a letter from Centenary Committee presenting themselves and saying, would I give us some strength? So I say yes. Yeah, so we try to give us strength from Scandinavia, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, where we're moving about in our affairs, to raise funds, to share the knowledge of what is Nyabingi Tagbel and the need for I community and family to have it in Shashimane. So myself, I came 1996 to Ethiopia on this journey, and it was the same. It was a very mystical journey, very full of lot of mystics, because firstly I wasn't economically prepared. Myself, I was involved in the works but not prepared to go to Ethiopia because my family situation, my life situation was not allowing that. So Haile Selassie himself come and wake me up one morning, shake me up 4:30 or something like this in the morning and say, I have to come to Ethiopia now. So it was little bit awakening, let's say, experience. So when my queen at the time woke up, I tell her that I have to come to Ethiopia, and she just wake up at her rest basically. So it took her half an hour to fathom what I'm telling her. So she just asked one question after half an hour, that am I coming back? And I didn't know, because Haile Selassie never told I if I'm coming back or if I just have to go one way to Ethiopia. So it took me about 2 hours to pick a little bag, and I left my house with 10 euro. Yeah, I left 10 euro with my family, and I took 10 euro and I went with a bag walking to Ethiopia. Well, it took 3 weeks. Yeah, I walked to the forest, reached a train station, take a train, took a night ferry. I reached Stockholm in the beginning of month of July, and I have 1 euro left. 1 euro cannot buy no breakfast, can't buy nothing, so I buy a morning newspaper. And I just open it like this, and there is peer pictures from Ethiopia. Lalibela, Gondar, I cry, man. No apology, I cry. Right there, I said, Ja, I'm coming. And I'm walking from the place where the ferry came in, the ferry port into Stockholm, meet someone on the road, and a man will not see me for goodest time. And we start to reason, he asked me where me depon, and he gave me a work immediately. So within 2.5 weeks, we have money to get a ticket. So I go and get a ticket, go to the European Embassy, want to get a visa. And I don't have no idea, because they have 2 choices. You have tourist and you have business. And I don't know what to put there. And you're not allowed to put a third. And you're not allowed to leave your MP. So I'm confused, And so I asked the woman there, and I explained to her my situation. And she said, you better talk to the ambassador. So I go in, I talk to the ambassador, try to explain my thing. And he said, come back tomorrow. When I come back the day after to get my visa, I have a business visa to Ethiopia. So I go to Ethiopia. It was the sweetest thing in my life, I ended up in the airport, and the man coming out of the passport checkup, to hug me. Yeah, in all other places they look for me like he's a funny man, or wonder what we have inside my crown or so. The man come out to hug me, Rasta. He hugged me and said, we are one, you know. It was a nice thing, you know. Then I went down to Shashimane, Gobingi, you know, reconnect. The Bongo water was there, ancient, you know, Ras Ibi, various international ones. You know what, I'm going to take a break in the midst of this because it's just me talking, you know, and I'm that one, you know, these kind of affairs, I will talk from now to Judgment Day, you know, but I want to hear something from the item. You have any questions in the middle of this or something you wonder, because my life might sound a little bit odd, you know. It was a good experience, you know, because Majesty is like that, you know, you give yourself to him, you know. It's like jumping without parachute. It's quite interesting, you know, it always works out, but you don't know how. So, all right, yeah, so that's, it's a very, very different thing. 20 years is a big changes. We have seen new government kind of administration. The people have getting used to us. Before 1996, 92, they don't know nothing about. There's a few Rastas there, you know, and we all call Jamaicans, by the way, in Ethiopia. We are not called Rastafari. All of us, whatever is where we come from, we are called Jamaican in Ethiopia. They even say that the flag we have is Jamaican flag. So it's not so well known what is Rasta, what Rasta stand for. They only know that we smoke ganja, we love reggae music, and we love His Majesty. Yeah, you see, the land situation now is a very complex thing, because that is what causes problem all over the world always, between permanent dwellers and nomads, or people who have animals, for instance. So when it comes to Shashimane now, Majesty gave, the people say around, he gave something called gasha now. It's a non-standard measurement. So 5 gasha in Shashimane could be different from 5 gasha in Addis or something. So, but in people say an acre, around 500 acre. So when Mengistu come now, 1994, he make all land stately. He governmentalize all land, make it private, yeah. And then he would take, if you have a lot of land, he would take land from the road up to your doorstep and plant corn. You would allow to keep your house and your little backyard, but all the other land he would take it and plant corn for the government. So a lot of the land, obviously, by 1974-75 went to governments. And then by that time there was very few of I&I, and a lot of people left Shashimane at that time also. It was not healthy to be there, so they left Shashimane. Then after 92 we see a steady influx of Rastas coming, you know. So we've been working on that land thing. We have three issues with the government that boil down to 3 issues that the Rastafari in Ethiopia have. And it's our security, our land situation, and our legality. So those being the issues with the government, you know. So, but the biggest change is that Haile Selassie gave this 500 acres to be a trial, and the idea was that it's small-scale farming, 1 acre per family. You can run a little tractor and small-scale farming, a few animals and things like this. So, but after I ended up there, so in the let's say in the early 2000s, we hear the sound that it's going to change. So the rural land now turn urban land. So there's a new law. Previously, if you own land or if you have land in the rural areas, you can have any amount of hectare. As long as you can fence it or claim that you rent it or so, you can have it. But when you come to the city now, you can have maximum of 500 square meters. So people have done with them cows, done with them farming, and just live. So that's what happened with Shashimane. And then through that Mengistu time also, he made this villagization. Like, so he moved people into villages and moved people over the country, you know. So that way also they cut up our village and put in a lot of people into our village. So there is very little, maybe a few percentage of land, of the original land grant left in Rastafari hands. Ethiopia is very big. When Majesty do things like that, when he give land also, he do that not just by himself, he do that for other people also, to see as an example that if you have a lot of land, you can also give land to these Jamaicans who are coming home now after 400 years. So it's not just me have to do it. So, but it's ended up there, so to speak, 1974, you know. And then from that we've been struggling with what we have, and per year we always lose something. We have new people moving in. Even just recently we have new Rastaman, Bingiman, Ras Ibi, and Imam Press moving in from England. They maybe all know him. Yeah. Ras Ibi is a bingy man, you know. So it's sweet, you know. People moving in, but people move out also. I don't think the place could fit all Rastas, you know. But it's a very good starting point, you know. And when you come to Ethiopia, you move around. You see if Ethiopia is for you. If not, you maybe Benin is for you, or Ghana, or you know, the whole world is Africa anyway. So you know. But the government has, from last year, the Ethiopian government made international news where they were saying that they have now finally recognized the Rasta people, and that they will give us our recognition, so to speak. So it hasn't happened yet much, but they have promised to give us a national ID where we can move about freely. We didn't need no working permit, residence permit, or visas to travel in and out. So the only thing we can do is work within the police and security services and vote. You know, but you can live there and you change it only after every 5 years. So we're looking to get that. I know myself a few people have it, but on a group, not yet. You know? Yeah. So I think every Ethiopian pray for this. Yeah. Yeah, those relations have normalized the last month like that. The Ethiopian Airlines start to fly again, you know. Ethiopian Orthodox Church also have resolved their inner conflicts, which is a great joy for everybody who is into them affairs, and you know, decided upon very harmonious building with two abonas, very interesting, you know, and sharing it equally. Yeah, so there's a lot of good things happening, and obviously the prayer is that this momentum of working for peace, that it will also affect other regions where we have permanent discord basically for a long time, thinking about the Middle East, thinking about other places in Africa. We just see, for instance, there was meeting, is it last week and the week before, the last couple of weeks in Ethiopia, but about the South Sudan situation, and now finally the two warlords have decided that yes, we will work together, man. Yeah, so we chanting that the wave of this thing can, you know, expand, like rings on the water and cover the creation really and truly, you know, because we need that for sake of development. If there's no peace, there can be no viable development. I think in Ethiopia the problem is that it's moving very quick, and there's a lot of forces who don't like it. It's going too quick for them, you know. They want more a gradual thing, you know. So, and there's other momentum who want more, you know. So I think our prayer is just that Ethiopia will remain in a state of peace, you know, and prosperity, you know.
Yes, Ras Ibi, I wanted to ask about the early days in Jamaica. If you remember any names of the elders that you met during the early trips, any prominent figures around the eye, any names, any?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, you're a young man, you see these terrible lions like Bongo Watto and things like that.
So you met Bongo Watto in Jamaica?
In Jamaica and in England and in Ethiopia.
Okay. So in Jamaica, do you remember where did you meet him?
In Bingi. In the Bingi? Yeah, in the Bingi grounds, in Pitford, in Scotch Pass.
Okay.
Things like that. And one ancient that we spend a lot of time with is Mampi, Ras Trevor Reed.
Yes, Ras Mampi.
Yeah, exactly. Remember man like Bongo Time.
Bongo Time
was high priest
there, yes.
Of time, and we share the same work. He's a carpenter also. We do carpentry work, both of us.
Okay.
So yeah, we remember last time we go bingy, you know, him meet and he want me to stay in his house and things like that. You know, this
Bongo time.
95. This is my last trot in Jamaica.
Who are the person with which you had these early conversations about, you know, Rasta from Europe? I mean, do you remember which were the elders or the brethrens around with which you started to talk about this phenomena at that time?
Yeah, I think we didn't even know the names, you know, of everybody at such time, you know. But we started to reason with whoever we meet and whoever we want to talk with, I and I, you know. And then we reason with the elders who is there present, the names I mentioned, and that whole generation of elders who was around, and many have now trod with their ancestors. Bongo Nigos was one that we also was blessed to meet in Jamaica, who later repatriated to Ethiopia and things.
Congo Rocky too?
Congo Rocky we knew. I didn't know Congo Rocky in Jamaica. I knew about him. He's a, you know, a venerated elder, and people know about him. He's a figure, you know. Him and ancient Mama Baby I, they are known, you know. So, but I didn't know him on a personal level.
Seen. So the I participated also to ISIS.
Yes. That was always the main objective. Going to Jamaica was that it was fitting in the coronation ISIS or the birth of Her Majesty and things like this. So coming in during being there, maybe two or three of the bingos at a time, you know, Ethiopian Christians.
So you make sure you arrive for them times there.
Of course. And that was getting winter time in Sweden. It's getting cold, and as a youth man, it was better to make a fly.